What will I do when it comes to Theta in 2026, even though nothing I say is financial advice? Well, it's going to be the exact same thing I've been doing throughout this entire time. I'm dollar cost averaging once a month. That's it, even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I don't do any more than that. I also don't do any less than that either. The thing is this, people like to tell me, whoa, take a look at Theta as of right now. The market cap is not doing good. It's at below 300 million currently. And also on top of that, they say the pullback has been pretty extensive. Keep in mind, we're so low as of right now to the point that we're pretty much around 10 times lower in terms of market cap when compared to December of 2024. So in a little bit over a year, the market cap has went down around 10 times lower. But is that necessarily such a concern for me? Well, personally for me, because I am looking to dollar cost average, I would actually like it a lot more if I'm able to dollar cost average at a lower point. Now, do I want it low forever? Absolutely not, but this is my mindset. However, also on top of that as well, even if Theta just went back to where it was slightly over a year ago, like again, Theta's around 10 times lower than that. BNB is not around 10 times lower than where it was slightly over a year ago. Neither is Bitcoin, and neither is Ethereum. So this is just my mindset sometimes. Sure, I mean, Theta hasn't done the best, and it doesn't even need to do the best anyways, if let's say there was hypothetically an altcoin season, because at $10, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be 10 billion. The thing is this, even back in 2021, the market cap was almost 13 billion, right? So we've already seen Theta at nearly 13 billion in terms of market cap before. But the thing is, the difference was that there was an altcoin season back then, but I haven't seen one as of right now. However, people like to tell me, oh, but back then there was less competitors than right now. Totally aware of that, but there's also more owners right now than before. As of right now, there's over 600 million owners, whereas back then in the peak of that cycle, there was around 300 million owners. So yes, more projects as of right now, but there's also more owners. And here's the thing as well. Theta doesn't, I think, have such stiff competition in the grand scheme of things, because even with the pullback as of right now, it's still ranked 132nd in the world in terms of market cap. Like fundamentally, I don't feel like there's that many new projects that appeared that could really kind of challenge it in any sort of hypothetical, meaningful way. There's still a group of projects that could do that, but I don't feel like there's such a drastic increase in that sort of group of competitors right now when compared to back in 2021. So yes, less competition back then, but how many are actually really competing with Theta in a fundamental standpoint of view? I don't think maybe there's that many that appeared when compared to back then. Here's the thing though. People like to ask me, okay, what is Theta? Now, if I were to just kind of explain it in quite a simple way, here's the way I would explain it. Now, the Theta network is a blockchain-powered decentralized cloud, which may seem like kind of simple, but here's the thing. Theta, it could be viewed as sort of a dual network design, so to speak, right? Because there's the Theta Edge network and there's the Theta blockchain. But here's the thing. When it comes to the Theta Edge network, it does provide something called GPU compute power. GPU stands for graphic processing unit. And again, it provides this GPU compute power, for instance, in some cases like AI. So I think that's pretty cool. Here's the thing though. When it comes to the Theta blockchain, it's an EVM compatible, so EVM stands for Ethereum Virtual Machine, but again, it's an EVM compatible multi-blockchain network. So in the grand scheme of things, Theta isn't really looking to reinvent the wheel by any means. It's not, right? There's many projects out there that have an aspect of blockchain technology, but if I consider kind of the focus of Theta and I consider the presence, the market cap that it still is able to retain as of right now, when I consider the decent amount of holders that it has, also on top of that, when I consider the historical presence that Theta has and also the listings that it has, I feel like, sure, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it's just not forgotten about. And also on top of that, it's still one of the main players within the niche that it's focused on. So if let's say there was hypothetically an altcoin season, I don't think something like Theta is just going to get completely forgotten about because it still has that presence and it still has that use case. Personally, for me, I can't control whether or not there's going to be an altcoin season. Like, I have no control over that. The only thing I can control is myself. However, I'm also under this mindset, or should I say I'm in this understanding where I know that I am unable to know whether or not if there's going to be an altcoin season. I'll never be able to know that. I'll also never be able to know exactly when things are going to recover. There's no way I could do that. But I also understand that whether or not this space goes down or up, whatever the case may be, it's going to do it with or without me. So if I'm holding or I'm not, it's going to do its thing regardless, right? It's like, for instance, 10 years ago, Bitcoin was a lot lower than right now. But was I believing in that? No. And it did its thing without me. Had I believed in it back then, it also wouldn't have made a difference, right? I'm just one individual, keep in mind. I'm not just talking about Theta. I'm saying this space overall. There's over 600 million owners. I'm just one person. I can't do anything when it comes to this space. But sometimes I just like to stay waiting, hypothetically, maybe in case. This is the way I take a look at it. Now, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. But the reason why is because I like to be waiting for something as opposed to not. Because what happens if there's maybe, hypothetically, an altcoin season? Who knows, right? Like, for instance, I wasn't waiting for anything back then, so Bitcoin just did its thing without me. But of course, I can't go back in the past. The only thing I can do is focus on the current, right? On the present. So that's what I'm doing. But again, I just like to stay patient because I'd rather be waiting for something as opposed to not. Like, for instance, if I'm not waiting for anything, I'm still going to have to live my life anyways, right? Like, for instance, we're in January. As of right now, we're going to head into February. Then it's going to be March, April, May, June, July, and so on. Regardless if I'm holding or not, I'm still going to have to be waiting. I'm still going to have to be living my life anyways. So I just like to be waiting as opposed to not. This is my mindset. But ultimately, though, kind of my perception is that, the market's going to do its thing. I have no control over that. The only thing I have control over is myself. And personally, for me, this is why I just haven't given up. That's the only thing I can control. I'm still dollar cost averaging. I still believe in the projects that I do believe in, and I'm just staying patient. That's about it. Because slightly over a year ago, market cap was around 3 billion. As of right now, market cap is below 300 million. And does anyone think that 2024 we saw an altcoin season? I highly doubt that. So what would happen if there was an actual altcoin season? This is my mindset sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. I just want to say thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It's Bonnie the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.